A former Israeli minister has been charged with spying for Iran. Gonen Segev is to serve 11 years in prison after reaching a plea bargain with prosecutors. To tell us more, I'm joined now by our correspondent Tom Bateman in Jerusalem. Tom, this sounds an extraordinary case.
Well, it certainly is. And Gonen Segev had been in Nigeria, actually, since 2012. He hadn't been in Israel. He's a doctor, a former politician. He'd been practicing a clinic there. And the accusation had been that he had used information that he had gleaned during his time in government. Now, that was in the mid-90s in Israel, but also that contacts with diplomats and with other Israelis and foreign businessmen in Nigeria had been information that he had wanted to pass to the Iranians. Now, the prosecution in Israel say that he effectively had been involved in espionage. They accused him of acting for an enemy during wartime, in the words of the original charges, the original indictment, and that he had done that to damage Israel against its arch enemy. Now, the claim is that, or the understanding is from the domestic security services, that a lot of that information was actually very old. So there is a sense that it had limited value to the Iranians. But he was arrested last summer in Israel. There was then due to be a trial, heavily censored for national security reasons in Israel. But it's emerged this morning that he has reached a deal with prosecutors, a plea bargain, in which he will agree to serve 11 years in prison. He'll be sentenced formally next month.
I mean, incredible to think that a minister can cooperate with Iran from Israel. What was his motive? Is there any idea on that?
He is a colourful character, and in fact, it's not the first time he's been to jail. He was a minister for a short time in the mid-90s, energy minister. He cast a crucial vote that meant that the Oslo peace accords with the Palestinians were carried in the Israeli parliament. After he left office, though, in the mid-2000s, he faced trial in Israel, accused of attempting to smuggle 60,000 ecstasy tablets from Amsterdam to Israel using a doctored diplomatic passport. Now, he claimed in court that he thought they were M&Ms. He thought they were sweets, and despite that, he was still convicted of faking that passport and attempting drug smuggling. During one of the court hearings, his cousin testified and described him as a pathological liar. He then travelled to Africa, as I said, later in that decade, and that is when these attempts, it seems, to pass information to the Iranians took place.
Tom Bateman in Jerusalem, thank you.